Welcome back. Today, we are diving into the world of wheat pennies, those iconic 1-cent coins minted from 1909 to 1958. These pennies are not only a piece of history, but also valuable treasures in the coin-collecting community. In this video, we'll explore the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies in today's market, coins that could be worth a small fortune if you have them in your collection. Let's get started. First up, the 1925 wheat penny without a mint mark. If you're a coin enthusiast, you'll want to stick around for this one, as this coin holds surprising value in today's market. The 1925 wheat penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th President Abraham Lincoln. This particular year, 1925, has a unique standing in coin history. It was produced without a mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia, as opposed to other years when mint marks indicated where the coins were struck. Now let's talk about the condition of this coin. We're looking at a very good or VG grade. A coin in very good condition shows significant wear and tear. In this state, Lincoln's image is still recognizable on the obverse, but some details of the wheat ears on the reverse may be worn down. The surface will show moderate scratches, but the coin remains easily identifiable even to those new to the hobby. 1925 was a pivotal year in American history. The country was transitioning from the aftermath of World War I into the Roaring '20s. The economy was booming, and this era marked a time of change, from technological innovations to shifting cultural dynamics. The 1925 wheat penny, minted during this exciting time, carries a piece of that history. So why is the 1925 wheat penny so special? Well, it's not one of the rarest years, but it is considered quite rare in decent condition. Coins from this period have been around for nearly a century, and many have been lost, damaged, or melted down. As a result, finding a 1925 wheat penny in very good condition is getting harder each year. Now let's get to the exciting part, the value. A 1925 wheat penny in very good condition can fetch anywhere between $500,000, depending on the quality and where you buy or sell it. However, the value can climb if the coin has a special characteristic, such as being free from significant damage or possessing a unique patina. In rare cases, such coins have been known to sell for higher amounts through auction or private sales. So if you have one of these coins, it could be worth more than you think. When it comes to rare coins, condition is everything. Coins in better condition, like extra fine or mint state, can be worth significantly more. The closer the coin is to its original state, the higher its value. For example, a 1925 wheat penny in extra fine condition could be worth $700,000 or more, and if it's in uncirculated condition, the value could shoot up into the thousands. To identify if you have a 1925 wheat penny in very good condition, check for the key features. On the obverse, you should be able to make out Abraham Lincoln's profile, though some wear will make it less sharp. On the reverse, look for the 2 wheat ears flanking the words E pluribus unum. In very good condition, the wheat ears may be faint but still visible. Coin collecting has become a popular investment avenue over the years. While it's hard to predict the exact future value of the 1925 wheat penny, trends suggest that rare and well-preserved coins continue to rise in value. If you're considering adding this piece to your collection, now may be the perfect time to buy, especially as older coins become harder to find in good condition. In conclusion, the 1925 wheat penny, without a mint mark, in very good condition, is a rare find and holds significant value today. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, this coin is an exciting addition to any collection. If you come across one, make sure to hold on to it. You might have a valuable piece of American history on your hands. Next up, the 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark. If you've got one of these in your collection or are considering hunting one down, you won't want to miss this video. We'll break down its history, rarity, and what makes this coin stand out, especially when it comes to its market value today. Before we focus on the 1934 variety, let's quickly revisit what makes a wheat penny so special. The wheat penny, or Lincoln wheat cent, was produced by the U.S. Mint from 1909 to 1958. The coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 ears of wheat on the reverse. Hence the name. These coins were produced during a period of significant change in American history, and some of the older years have become highly sought after by collectors. But not all wheat pennies are created equal, and that's where the 1934 wheat penny stands out. Now, let's talk about the 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark. Mint marks are small letters stamped on coins by the US Mint to indicate where they were produced. A mint mark is typically found beneath the date, and for most 1934 pennies, you'll find a D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark was produced in Philadelphia, and it's quite rare in circulation condition. Coins produced in Philadelphia did not have a mint mark at all. The fact that the 1934 is one of these rare, non-mint marked varieties makes it unique in collectors' eyes. While the minting process wasn't special by itself, the survival rate of coins from this period in circulated condition is lower, which is why this coin is so highly prized. When we talk about circulation condition, we're referring to how much wear and tear a coin has experienced over the years. A circulated coin has been through the economy, exchanged, and used in daily life, meaning its features have worn down somewhat. While uncirculated 1934 wheat pennies can fetch a higher value, it's the circulated examples that are rare and increasingly valuable. As more time passes, fewer circulated coins remain in good condition, which adds to their collectability and price. So, how much is this coin worth today? Well, in circulated condition, the 1934 wheat penny can be worth anywhere from $330,000 depending on the coin's overall condition. A penny in rougher, more worn-out condition might only fetch a few dollars, while a well-circulated 1934 wheat penny with good clarity could be worth closer to $410,000. So, why is this particular coin so valuable despite its circulation status? It all comes down to its rarity. While the US Mint produced millions of these coins, very few survived in circulation, especially with details intact. As more collectors get into the hobby and demand rises, coins like the 1934 wheat penny, once common, become harder to find in good condition, especially in circulated form. If you're looking to find a 1934 wheat penny, there are a few tips to keep in mind. First, look through rolls of pennies from auctions or coin shops, especially older collections that might have been passed down through generations. Keep an eye out for any pennies that are worn but still feature that crucial 1934 date and lack of mint mark. Make sure to check the coin's details closely. Good clarity on the date and wheat ears will increase the value. If you're selling, get your coin graded by a professional to better understand its market worth, especially if it's in better than average circulated condition. To sum it up, the 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark is a rare and valuable find, especially in circulation condition. Its scarcity and historical significance make it a must-have for any serious coin collector. If you come across one, it might just be a golden opportunity to add a valuable piece to your collection. Next up, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. You might not realize it, but this seemingly ordinary coin could have a significant value in today's market, especially if it's in fine condition. Stick with us as we explore the history, rarity, and current value of this incredible piece of numismatic history. First, let's give you a little background. The 1949 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the series struck from 1909 to 1958. This series was produced to honor President Abraham Lincoln, with the iconic portrait on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse features 2 wheat stalks flanking the inscription A pluribus unum, which is Latin for out of many, one. In 1949, the US Mint struck pennies at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The D mint mark represents coins minted in Denver, and S stands for San Francisco. However, if you find a 1949 penny without a mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia, But here's the kicker. Most 1949 pennies you come across have the D or S mint mark. A 1949 penny without any mint mark is rarer than you might think. Although the 1949 without a mint mark isn't as rare as some other key years in the wheat series, it still stands out because of its scarcity and the fact that many collectors focus on the D and S marked coins. Therefore, finding one in fine condition can definitely catch the eye of numismatists. So, what does it mean for this 1949 wheat penny to be in fine condition? Well, in the world of coin grading, fine condition represents a coin that shows moderate wear, with most of the details still visible, but some of the finer features may be slightly softened. On a 1949 wheat penny, you'll see Lincoln's portrait clearly, but the finer lines in the hair and the wheat stalks might be worn down a bit. Even with moderate wear, fine condition coins are highly desirable, especially when they are scarce. This level of condition is where we start seeing the potential for a higher value. While the 1949 wheat penny isn't one of the top rarest pennies, its value in today's market has been steadily climbing due to its relative rarity, without a mint mark and its condition. In fine condition, this penny could be worth anywhere from $480,000 depending on its exact state. However, prices can vary based on the demand from collectors and coin dealers. Several factors can influence the price of the 1949 wheat penny without a mint mark. First and foremost, condition plays a huge role. Coins with better detail and less wear are always more valuable. Next, demand is key. If the coin is in high demand from collectors, the price can spike. Lastly, whether the coin has been properly graded by a reputable service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or professional coin grading service will impact its price. So why are collectors so interested in the 1949 wheat penny without a mint mark? For one, it's part of the larger wheat penny series, which is beloved by collectors due to its historical significance. The 1949 penny without the mint mark is also a reminder of the early years of the Lincoln C series, making it an important piece for those looking to complete their collections. Adding this penny to a collection adds to the variety and can provide a sense of satisfaction knowing that you own a rare piece of numismatic history. Identifying a 1949 wheat penny without a mint mark is simple. Once you know what to look for, check the reverse of the coin to ensure there is no D or S. If the coin has any mint mark, it was minted in Denver or San Francisco, and that would reduce its rarity compared to the Philadelphia struck coins. If you're unsure about authenticity, it's always a good idea to have your coin professionally authenticated. To wrap things up, the 1949 wheat penny without a mint mark, while not the rarest penny in the series, is still a highly collectible coin that can hold significant value, especially if it's in fine or better condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, adding this penny to your collection can be a great investment and an exciting treasure to own. Next up, the 1944 wheat penny with a D mint mark in a color shade condition. Now, this coin has some serious value in today's market, and we're about to break down why. So make sure you stick around to the end to find out just how much it could be worth. But first, let's take a closer look at the coin itself. This right here is a 1944 wheat penny, produced during a pivotal time in American history. It's a key date in the wheat penny series, and the presence of the G mint mark means it was struck in Denver. But what makes this coin even more intriguing is the color shade condition we're talking about today. This isn't just your average coin. This one stands out, and the color shade adds a whole new layer of rarity and value. To understand why the 1944 wheat penny is so valuable, let's first set the stage. During 1944, the US was in the midst of World War II, and copper was a precious material. In fact, this penny was struck from a mix of copper and zinc because a large portion of the nation's copper production was redirected for the war effort. In 1944, the US Mint used a combination of copper and steel for other coins, but the pennies continued to be made with copper, making them quite distinct. Now, let's talk about the color shade condition. You might be asking, what exactly does that mean? Typically, pennies, especially older ones like this, are found in various states of oxidation. Over time, they can develop different hues and shades depending on how they've been stored, handled, or exposed to environmental elements. A coin in color shade condition typically has an unusual tint, which could be due to a variety of factors, such as exposure to certain chemicals or atmospheric conditions. For the 1944 wheat penny, a color shade condition often means that the coin has a unique patina, sometimes a reddish-brown, other times a slightly darker, earthy tone. These color changes can make the coin stand out even more, which is precisely what collectors look for. It's not just the wear and tear that defines the coin's value, but also these distinctive colors that tell the story of its journey. Now, let's talk about the big question. How much is this rare coin actually worth in today's market? For a typical 1944 wheat penny with a D mint mark in average condition, you're looking at around $100,000. But when it comes to a coin in color shade condition, with a unique patina and a high-grade condition like extra fine or uncirculated, it can be worth much more. Depending on its grade, the value of the 1944 wheat penny with a D mint mark can go from $400,000 in lower grades. But a coin in exceptional color shade condition, let's say an uncirculated or a higher grade state, can easily fetch upwards of $700,000. In some rare cases, if the coin has a particularly striking shade or a collector's premium attached, it could sell for even more, up to $900,000 or higher. Why is the 1944 wheat penny so desirable to collectors? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and the story it tells. With a limited number of these coins in existence and fewer in high-grade color shade condition, this penny represents both history and a unique piece of the past. Its significance during IIR and its distinct design, poetry over bodily, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the two stalks of wheat on the reverse, make it a favorite among numismatists and casual collectors alike. So, how do you buy or sell one of these rare 1944 wheat pennies? First, make sure you're dealing with a reputable coin dealer or auction house. Online marketplaces like eBay also offer a great platform for buying and selling, but be cautious about the seller's feedback and coin certification. So, there you have it, a breakdown of the 1944 wheat penny with a D mint mark in color shade condition. Whether you're a collector looking to add this piece to your collection, or you're just curious about its value, this coin certainly holds a special place in the world of numismatics. The unique color shade, combined with its historical significance, makes this penny one to watch in today's market. Next up, wheat penny from 1939, one of the rare and highly sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. In this video, we're going to dive into what makes this particular coin so valuable, its history, and how much it's worth today in the market. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's take a closer look. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This design featured two stalks of wheat on the reverse, making it an iconic piece of American history. The design stayed in production until 1958, but during its time, several different years and mint marks produced varying levels of rarity and value. Now, the 1939 wheat penny is a relatively common year, but when it's without a mint mark, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia, it takes on a unique place in the market today. At first glance, the 1939 wheat penny might not seem that extraordinary. However, when we dig deeper into its condition, rarity, and demand, we begin to understand its true value. The 1939 wheat penny without a mint mark is considered a rare find in very good condition. Coins in this condition typically show wear, with Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks still visible but somewhat worn. However, the overall presence of the coin and the date's legibility make it valuable. As you can see from the images, coins in higher grades, like extra fine or uncirculated condition, can fetch far higher prices. Don't underestimate the value of a 1939 in very good condition. It's still a rarity, especially when well preserved. Now, let's talk numbers. So, how much is the 1939 wheat penny worth today? Well, the value can vary depending on the exact condition of the coin, but generally speaking, a 1939 wheat penny in very good condition is worth between $75,000. However, prices can go higher if the coin shows less wear and retains more of its original details. In fact, during auctions and private sales, this penny can sometimes fetch as much as $230,000 or more in higher quality grades. And, like all rare coins, market demand can drive prices even further. For example, if you find a well-preserved 1939 without a mint mark, you could be looking at a much bigger payoff. There are a few key factors that influence the value of the 1939 wheat penny without a mint mark. First, the condition of the coin is paramount. Coins that are well preserved, even in very good or fine condition, can demand a premium. Second, demand plays a role. The popularity of wheat pennies, especially older ones, remains high among collectors and investors alike. Coins from the 1930s are particularly desirable because of their age and historical significance. And, finally, any unique features or errors in the coin, like a misstrike or die crack, can add additional value. If you're out there searching for a 1939 wheat penny, or you already have one in your collection, here are a few tips to help you assess its value. First, check the mint mark. A 1939 coin without a mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. This is the version we're talking about today. Next, inspect the overall condition. If the coin is worn but still legible, it's likely in a very good state. If the wheat stalks are clearly visible, that's a good sign. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to ensure the details are clear. Lastly, check for any unusual features like a doubled die or any other errors. These can dramatically increase the value of your coin. So, whether you've come across a 1939 wheat penny in your change jar or you found one in an old collection, keep an eye on its condition. While it may not be as rare as some of the other years in the wheat penny series, this coin still holds significant value. If you have one in very good or better condition, you could be looking at a valuable addition to your coin collection. Next up, 1940 wheat penny, without a mint mark, in extra fine condition. This coin is more valuable than you might think, and we're going to explain why. Stick around as we uncover its history, its value today, and what makes it so special. Before we jump into the market value of this coin, let's take a closer look at the 1940 wheat penny itself. First, let's talk about the basics. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was minted from 1909 all the way through 1958. The 1940 version was produced during the height of World War II, a time when the US was deeply involved in international conflicts, and pennies were circulating in large numbers across the country. However, the 1940 penny stands out today as one of the rarer and more valuable coins, especially if it's in extra fine condition. So, what makes a 1940 wheat penny in extra fine condition so special? Well, let's define what extra fine means in terms of coin grading. In coin collecting, the extra fine grade is just below uncirculated and indicates that the coin has been well preserved. There should be little to no wear on the design or the Lincoln portrait, with fine details visible, such as the wheat stalks on the reverse side and the smoothness of Lincoln's features. The extra fine condition of the 1940 wheat penny makes it desirable to collectors, as many of these pennies were used heavily in circulation, causing wear and tear over the years. Now, let's get into the rarity and market value of the 1940 wheat penny without a mint mark. You might be wondering, why does the lack of a mint mark matter? Well, the 1940 wheat penny was primarily minted at two facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the San Francisco Mint. However, the 1940 penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, as the mint mark was only used for coins minted at the Denver and San Francisco facilities. So, while it may seem that the lack of a mint mark is insignificant, it helps to clarify that all 1940 pennies from Philadelphia do not carry one. What truly makes this coin valuable today is its condition and historical scarcity. Extra fine condition, the 1940 wheat penny can fetch anywhere from $400,000 on average, depending on its exact state and whether it has any unique qualities, like a particularly sharp strike or unusual toning. However, for a coin like this, its value can jump dramatically based on the demand and rarity of well-preserved examples. Some 1940 wheat pennies in extra fine condition have sold for up to $500,000 at auction, and those with higher grading can reach even more. In rare cases, a 1940 wheat penny in exceptional extra fine or higher grades, especially those with no visible wear on key design areas, has sold for upwards of $600,000 or more. That may seem surprising for a coin that was minted in the millions, but it's all about condition. The rarer the pristine example, the higher the demand and the higher the price. Several factors contribute to the value of the 1940 wheat penny. While mintage numbers are important, condition plays a much larger role. Over 1 billion 1940 pennies were minted, so finding one in perfect or extra fine condition is much rarer than you'd expect. Furthermore, collectors today are more discerning, often looking for coins with sharp details and minimal imperfections. As the years go by, the supply of high-grade 1940 wheat pennies continues to dwindle, which could further drive up the value of well-preserved examples. If you're out there searching for this coin in your collection or at your local coin shop, here's a pro tip. Make sure to inspect the penny closely. Look for any signs of wear, especially around Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks on the reverse side. If you find one that's truly in extra fine condition, you could be sitting on a nice little treasure. The 1940 wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition is an amazing piece of US history. It may not be as rare as some of the other coins we've talked about on this channel, but its condition and the demand for high-quality examples make it an excellent candidate for collectors and investors alike. Keep an eye out for these pennies because you never know when you might stumble upon one. Next up, the wheat penny 1 cent 1937 without a mint mark in very good condition. It might just be the coin you're looking for. This rare gem has become highly sought after in the numismatic world. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the history, characteristics, and market value of this fascinating coin and why it's causing such a stir among collectors today. The 1937 wheat penny is part of the famous Wheat Cent series that was produced from 1909 to 1958. The obverse features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse displays the iconic wheat ears which give the coin its name. This design has become a symbol of American history and has remained a favorite among collectors for decades. Now, when we talk about this coin being in very good condition, what does that actually mean? Coins in this grade typically show wear and tear, but not so much that the main features of the design are unrecognizable. You'll notice that Lincoln's portrait still retains enough detail, though the high points, like his hair and cheek, are sometimes scattered. The reverse shows the wheat stalks and the E pluribus unum motto, but with some noticeable flattening. One important thing to note about the 1937 wheat penny is that it does not have a mint mark. This is significant because in 1937, the United States Mint produced pennies at 2 locations, the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark, and the San Francisco and Denver Mints, which used S and D mint marks, respectively. So, the lack of a mint mark on this coin means that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and this adds to its collectability. Now, let's talk about the market value. You might be surprised to learn that this coin, even in very good condition, has gained some serious attention in the collector's market. The value of a 1937 wheat penny without a mint mark can vary based on its condition and demand, but here's a general breakdown of its worth today. In very good condition, the value of the 1937 wheat penny ranges from $500,000 on average. However, If you happen to find one in higher grades, such as fine, very fine, or even extremely fine, it could be worth upwards of $700,000 or more. These coins are rare enough that they're often in demand, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for those that are in better condition. Some of these coins, especially when found in higher grade conditions, have even sold for $100,000 or more at auctions. Keep in mind that the market for these pennies is dynamic. The value can fluctuate depending on the collector's interest and rarity of the coin. In fact, the 1937 wheat penny is considered rare among pennies produced during the late 1930s, and this only adds to this value in today's market. Now, you may be wondering why the 1937 wheat penny without a mint mark is so valuable. Well, the wheat penny series as a whole is very popular among coin collectors. However, this particular year and coin design holds sentimental value for many because they symbolize the era of the Great Depression and Abraham Lincoln's legacy. Additionally, coins without mint marks are often rarer to find, making them more desirable. If you're looking to determine the value of your 1937 wheat penny, it's important to understand coin grading. The very good condition grade means the coin shows obvious wear, but it's still recognizable and collectible. While the 1937 wheat penny in very good condition might not fetch the highest prices, the ones in higher grades can be worth significantly more. Coins in uncirculated condition, or those that are well preserved, can go for $395,000 or even more, depending on their quality and collector demand. So, whether you're just starting out in coin collecting or you are a seasoned pro, the 1937 wheat penny without a mint mark is definitely a coin to keep an eye on. Even in very good condition, this coin can still hold some value in today's market, and it's a great addition to any collection. If you have one of these in your collection, make sure to check its condition and see if you might be holding onto a rare find. Next up, the 1936 wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin is special for a number of reasons, from its design to its historical significance, and the best part, it could be worth a lot more than you think. So, if you own one or have come across this beauty in your collection, you might just have a hidden gem. First, let's take a step back in time to understand why the 1936 wheat penny is so remarkable. The wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958, with the iconic wheat ears on the reverse side symbolizing the agricultural roots of the United States. It's a coin that holds much historical significance, and the 1936 version is no exception. Now, the 1936 wheat penny is part of a series of pennies that were produced during the Great Depression. The US economy was in a tough spot, and as a result, many of these pennies were circulated widely. They were a vital part of daily life during a challenging period in American history. Let's talk about the year itself, 1936. This was a year when the United States was still in the midst of the Great Depression, with the country trying to recover from the economic collapse of 1929. Franklin D. Roosevelt was in his second term as president, and major changes were happening across the country. While the coin itself might seem small, it carries the weight of a significant period in history. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's face is a symbol of strength, perseverance, and leadership, making this coin a great representation of the values held during those tough times. Alright, let's get to the good part, the value. If you've got a 1936 wheat penny without a mint mark and it's in good condition, you're likely wondering just how much it's worth today. So let's break it down. In good condition, the 1936 wheat penny typically fetches anywhere from $300,000. It's important to remember that the coin is over 85 years old, and finding one in good condition is already a rare feat. Now, you might be asking, what makes this coin valuable? Well, the value of any coin is determined by several factors: rarity, demand, condition, and sometimes even the market trends. In the case of the 1936 wheat penny, it's the rarity and demand for well-preserved coins that sets it apart. A 1936 wheat penny in good condition will have clear but worn details, The Lincoln portrait will be visible, but there will be noticeable wear on the fields of the coin and the wheat ears might be slightly smooth. But if your coin is in a higher grade, say fine or even extra fine, the value will jump up considerably. In fine condition, the 1936 penny could be worth around $230,000, and in extra fine or uncirculated condition, we're looking at values closer to $320,000 or more. If you have one of these coins in mint state or near mint state, that value can increase even further and you could be looking at a $500,000 or more price tag, depending on the market. Interestingly, coin values fluctuate based on market trends, and the 1936 wheat penny has seen a slight increase in value in recent years. In part, this is due to the ongoing interest in historical coins and the fact that collectors are always on the hunt for rarer, well-preserved pieces. But what truly sets this coin apart from others in the series? Well, while the 1936 wheat penny is not as rare as some other coins, its lack of a mint mark and the time period in which it was produced give it a certain mystique. It's a coin that collectors love to find in their collection, especially if it's in good or better condition. Now, if you're wondering how the 1936 wheat penny compares to other years, it is worth noting that the most valuable wheat pennies are those from rare years or those with minting errors. For example, the 1914D and 1922 no-D wheat pennies are much rarer and more valuable. However, the 1936 is still a sought-after coin for its historical relevance and solid condition. Before we wrap up, let's talk about some tips for identifying and evaluating your own 1926 wheat penny. First, carefully examine the coin for wear and tear. You want to check the condition of the details, especially around Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse. The clearer these details are, the higher the value. Also, pay attention to any potential errors or oddities in the coin's design, as these can add even more value. So, if you happen to have a 1936 wheat penny in good or better condition, you might just have a valuable coin on your hands today. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, it's always a great feeling to discover a hidden treasure in your coin jar or collection. Next up, the 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin may be nearly a century old, but it's still highly sought after today. We'll be discussing its rarity, value, and why it's so special in today's market. So, make sure to stick around for all the details. The 1926 wheat penny, like most of the coins produced during the early 20th century, has a rich history. It features the iconic design by Victor David Brenner, showing Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the classic wheat stalks on the reverse. Now, this particular penny is noteworthy because it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint and it has no mint mark. If you look closely, you'll see there's no D or S on the coin, indicating that it was minted in Philadelphia, where no mint mark was used at the time. Now, let's talk about the condition. In coin collecting, condition is everything. The 1926 wheat penny in good condition has a lot of value today. But first, let's define what good condition means. For this coin, good condition means that while the coin has some wear and tear, the important details, like Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks, are still visible. It may have a slightly worn surface, but the date is clear and the basic features are intact. To give you an idea of what good looks like, coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state. For a coin in good condition, expect to see some wear on the high points, and the details might be a bit softer. Still, it's a coin that collectors seek out due to its historical significance and the fact that it's no longer in circulation. Now, the big question. What's this coin worth? Well, as with most rare coins, the value depends on its condition. A 1926 wheat penny in good condition can be worth anywhere from $500,000. But here's the kicker. Since this coin is a rare piece of U.S. history, some buyers may be willing to pay more depending on the demand and rarity factors in play. Of course, the value can increase significantly with better grades. If you can find a 1926 wheat penny in fine, extra fine, or even uncirculated condition, you might be looking at a value closer to $600,000, maybe even higher in some cases. But the key here is that even in good condition, this coin is still considered rare and valuable in today's market. In fact, the market for coins like the 1926 wheat penny has seen fluctuations over the years, but it remains a coin that collectors keep their eyes on. Recent auctions for pennies from the 1920s, especially those in good or better condition, have sometimes exceeded expectations, with prices reaching up to $800,000 or more for coins with especially clear details and minimal wear. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 1926 wheat penny in your collection or even in a jar of loose change, don't just throw it away. Take a moment to inspect it closely. While it may not be worth hundreds, it could still fetch a pretty decent price, depending on its condition. And who knows, it might even be the hidden gem you've been waiting for. And remember, the condition of the coin can vary, so always take time to check for wear and tear. Some collectors even recommend getting the coin professionally graded if you think it could be worth more in the long run. Well, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition. It's a rare and valuable coin that's still making waves in today's coin market. So, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin tips, value insights, and all things numismatic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.